was.
After the break, someone called Alexander on his Sculptures of Light. They're next on today.
Welcome back. Well, something we're having to learn about these days is the hologram, the three-dimensional image that changes shape as you move about it. Alexander, he doesn't have a surname, is a sculptor who's also been working with holograms, who's hoping to make a movie using holographic images. Just now he's got an exhibition of holograms at Sydney's Powerhouse Museum, and he joins us this morning. Good morning, Alexander.
Good morning.
How do you create a hologram?
Well, you must use a laser. A laser produces a special kind of light. It's quite different to any other light source. Light travels in waves, and most light sources produce little tiny bits of waves that are all quite irregular. A laser produces a nice, steady, regular wave.
Right. We were saying earlier it's a laser, but it creates almost like a ghost-like image, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. And that's partly because of the way the light is reconstructed. Sometimes it's reconstructed in space in front of you.
Yeah. You see this as a film technique that's going to become more popular?
Well, it could become the film technique of the 21st century.
Really?
At the moment, I'm just at the beginning. I've made 2 short movies. The first one 4 minutes, the second one 8 minutes. And I'm now working on a third one where I'm actually bringing the image out into space in front of you, into your thin air, as it were.
Yeah, but is it realistic, though, or does it take away from what might be a very realistic movie, for instance?
It's realistic, yes. It really depends on how I want to create the movie, what sort of atmosphere, what sort of story, what sort of image I want to get across.
Yeah. Do you ever anticipate that sort of imagery will come across on television?
It's more difficult on television because every time you send a television frame, you've just got all the little picture dots on that frame. But if you imagine stretching that frame backwards into a cube, then you multiply that number of dots by a very large number, and that produces pretty horrific waveband problems.
Yeah. Is it the same thing, or is it slightly different to what we call 3D films? You know,
No, it's quite different.
Quite different.
For 3D films, you've got to wear glasses.
That's right.
Either coloured glasses or polarized glasses, which separate out 2 images for your eyes. And also, wherever you sit in the cinema, whether it's on the left-hand side or the right-hand side, you see exactly the same image because there are only 2 views.
But they both have the same effect, though, don't they? The hologram and the 3D?
No, with a hologram, you not only get a 3-dimensional effect because you get depth, but you also get movement parallax, and things that are different distances move at different speeds. And it's like when you're in the theatre. On the left-hand side, you can see what's going on the wings of the right, but some of the activity on the stage is cut off, and so on.
Yeah, have you had much reaction? I mean, has the Spielbergs of this world called you?
Well, I think more important than that, I represented Australia at the Biennale in Sao Paulo last year, and apparently my second movie, which was called The Dream, was the most sought-after exhibit in the whole place, and that was with the work of some 500 different artists present.
Well, it certainly is a great step forward. There's no risk about that. Alexander, thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing more of your work.
Thank you.
Alexander and his holograms, and the music was lovely. It was selected by Simon, who also has no surname.
Simon in the control room?
Yes.
Who has no surname?
That's very interesting stuff, though. You're dead right.
Yeah, it is.
Lovely.
It's a whole new world.
It's nearly time for us to go, but before we do, here's Eric Walters with the final news of the morning.